right. Greetings. Alright, for this communication, we're going to go into, this is one of the challenge texts that I did today. It wasn't very long, but my energy got drained after connecting to this, but we'll go into more. I'm not sure how far I can go into it, but I'm doing more channeled writings, and this came in before I even got to and started typing all this stuff. Alright, Jesus and Atlantis. Imagine people have connected to this in the past. Well, I'll give you the version I got, and to take it with a grain of salt or whatever you want to do with it. What I got was Jesus was not a nice guy in Atlantis. He was like a Merlin type of being. He grew up, I believe it was a Jewish or Hebrew, Israeli type of, Arab, family basically. It wasn't obviously what we call it today, but still had that anyway, he was part of that in his early phases. But he was like a Merlin. He did not do healings. I think he was capable of it, but he was a very magic type of being. And King Solomon was there too. They did not get along very well either. So, and yeah, you can say Jesus was like a black magician. And it gets better. It gets better. It just that's nothing compared to. Let's see if anybody's even watching this. Okay. And on top of all of that, he's a super villain or whatever. Well, it all has its purpose. I mean, everything has its purpose, but he can also fly. That's great. I got him flying. I saw him fly. I mean, it's not like he's flying. I don't know how much flying he was doing, but a flying Jesus is what I saw. So I think I lost half my audience at this. But that's the world we're going back into, so might as well. So flying Jesus, Atlantean, and now okay, so just got all the thunderstorms and whatever the internet. If anybody ever sees this, would be not too pleased with it, but to make some feel a little bit better, he did go. I don't think I got to this part, but I picked up. He did go into more of a Palladian environment after that life. Atlantis was there when it got destroyed. He even went to Egypt, what wasn't even Egypt yet, and stirred some shit up. I think he got killed there eventually. I think they had enough of it. So, but also just being there, like Egypt is a sacred site for a reason. And so being like him that's causing anarchy everywhere, they go to these places for a reason, to set up shop or whatever it is, take over the world. I'm not sure what he was doing there. I haven't got that far with it, but either way, he was there, and that was another. It turned into like a spiritual place eventually. As you can see, it's connected to Orion and just to give you more detail. And I believe it did have a lot of, it was, greeneries everywhere. I believe so. Even after Atlantis, I think so. So there you go. And then after that, then he hadn't played in incarnations to heal from all that. He had to get out of his system. It all had a purpose. It's just, of course, like Aleister Crowley, he's connected to more of a negative side. You open yourself up more, a little bit more that way. And then when you go back into a light being, it's like, I know how to do this. So that's what I got. Yeah. Well, there you go. Flying Jesus. Yeah, it's gonna so when I'm gonna sing a song, I'm gonna tell everybody about that. Jeez. I felt them flying. I saw him like visualizing flying. I was like, fucking flying. Is he flying? Really? Are we really going there? We were going there apparently. So, and he can control reptilians. Is very good at that. I didn't get to that part, but I saw him. Mind control was his main talent. He was really good at controlling reptilians, actually. And so this was like already during the downfall of Atlantis. This was already history, basically, at this point. But he was like one of the black magicians at the end to really like cause more anarchy. I'm not sure where or when. I didn't get to that far. It's just like, this is a little bit much as it is. I'm already in the Looney Tune bin as it is, so that was fun to connect to. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt, whatever. Fine, Jesus. Sure, why not? The unbelievable is probably true. And, well, this is entertaining, I give it that. But I don't think that was the point of it, though. Oh, so, I mean, it's let that sit in for a while, for another 1,000 years. I mean, people have dreams of flying all the time, so that's not a... back in the day, people fly on other worlds. Our world, we're kind of not very, we have to have, So, that's the story on the street that, at least from my deck of the woods. So, yeah, when I get locked up, at least I'll know, at least I'll have a justification for locking me up. I'm checking more stuff, so it's fine. So, I know, King Solomon and him did not get along very good, and they're kind of outdo each other. And I'm not sure how much more I'm going to get out of that, but that is as far as I got. But one thing for sure did go with the Pleiadians, and some people have channeled, like, Jesus came from the Pleiades to assist I've definitely picked up one or two incarnations, maybe more than that, but definitely they're very positive, for sure. So you definitely need a lot of healing after that. So I'm not sure how many are going to connect to this, or just have me call your local Santa song, have me haul it away. That's fine. But that is it for now. That's all I got. It's anything else other than that? No, that's about it. Just flying Jesus. Jeez. I don't think I'm being messed with or anything yet. I don't think so. No, because usually the truth is pretty bizarre, and that's usually how it works. So I didn't feel anything dark around it either, or anything is like, well, we don't want that out. People aren't going to believe this shit. I'm believing flying Jesus. Some people have said he has slave incarnations, a possibility. I'm not sure about on this world, though. Maybe. But definitely a slave. I can see that. It's kind of punishment for all his flying he was doing. I don't know, but I can see. I mean, obviously, we have all these different incarnations on this world. It's a possibility. They say it's a possibility. It actually would make a lot of sense if he was a slave before his public debut. I don't know if it was during his. Now, was it the Jesus incarnation that he was a slave? And then he became, in that same Jesus incarnation, the ones in the Bible. Now that's a possibility. If he was a slave during that lifetime, because there's nothing much written about him or anything. Not like we can believe the Bible as it is, but that is. I never really thought about it that way. I always thought when I saw in Project Camelot somewhere said that Jesus was a slave, and it's like, okay, I figure it was another incarnation. But now I'm starting to feel maybe it was that incarnation before, after all the flying. So who knows? In a way, in some ways, that'd make a lot of sense. So I'm not getting a whole lot on that, but is a possibility. So it doesn't matter. As for So yeah, reptilians and him know each other very well. Reptilians own his name, always own his vibration, as you see with the churches and all that. They use his power over people to worship him and control their minds, basically. So, in some ways, I think he obviously was aware of that, but I don't know the whole story on that. That'll be the next chapter, maybe. Depends on what comes through. I wasn't expecting Flying Jesus, trust me. They just sort of. That's when you just need a couple of beers after that one, or whatever it is. That's a good one, though. Okay, if anybody's still here, those are new to all this. This is ivanteller.com. This is private sessions we have throughout the week. I believe we're open for the most part. Google Hangout, Zoom, channeling by phone, and Skype. We also have Spirit Social. And I won't go through every detail of this, but also we have other healers you can connect to. Also, much recommend. Also have Patreon. We have the Jake. Jake was uploaded a little bit. Yeah, a sneak peek was uploaded here. That'll be debut probably tomorrow. And also have Spirit. You have the social network here. Yeah, let's kind of give it a break on everything. Kind of. It's Sunday night. Take it easy. Talk about Flying Jesus. And all right, I'm not gonna beat that one anymore. Is there anything else connected with that further with Flying Jesus and all of that? Yeah, I was listening to because I don't have enough energy to read about the Book of Enoch. That was actually going to be the subject of tonight. The Book of Enoch, yeah, there's a lot. I think there's several other books, not just the Book of Enoch. There's different versions of the Book of Enoch also. And I don't believe those are all half. I don't know. There's think of it like there are different channelings, so different versions. So take it how you want. It's information basically. I haven't read all three. Is there a documentary on all three of them? I've been connected. What else was there? I was talking about. Yeah, talking about what was it, Solomon and possession. I think that was in the Book of Enoch, or that was in the Dead Sea Scrolls. I think it was the Dead Sea Scrolls. I can't. Dead Sea Scrolls talked about me and the Bible. What can I say? It is Reptilian Awareness Month. If anyone's still there out in the streaming world, yeah, with this, so we're kind of going to different directions, as you can see. But yeah, the Dead Sea Scrolls talked about, according to the documentary, because I don't have energy to read anything. There's only so much I can listen to either, too. But it talked about monsters, giants, women getting impregnated, and the giant. I believe that was all Anunnaki. Could probably other beings involved with it too. I wouldn't doubt it, but Anunnaki played a big role. Basically, just the bullies of our world in some regard. Anunnaki are like the silent. They're silent here, but they are kind of a menace to society. But reptilians are usually the ones ruling everything for the most part. As for the Matrix grid, I believe is mostly actually reptilian. Well, it's a little bit of both. It's Archon, reptilian. They're all kind of contributing to our little. And that's another thing connected to. Yeah, as more pressure we get, more tests we get, and just making life more and more difficult, the more our talents that we're not fully aware of are increasing. Basically, our personalities and obsessions and things of that sort. So, to go into further into, I see the Book of Enoch. We'll go into a little bit of that. Enoch himself, I think it's a he, from what I can tell. Let's see, I believe a lot of it was written before Jesus, but also, I believe he was also connected to, a lot of it was before Yeshua, I can pronounce that better. It was also that Enoch was connected to Yeshua's, I forget what they call him, his clan that he carried around. I can always forget what they're called. when I get here, everything just kind of disappears, mentally wise. His coin that he walked around, I can't think of the name of it all. It's there, it's right in front of me, but anyway, doesn't matter. It seems like Enoch was one of them. So, from what I feel, there's energies of it, but it does seem like he was there at one time, did not stick around. He wasn't called Enoch either, from what I can feel, either, but the book of Enoch, I believe, is very true. Obviously, a lot of it has been lost and destroyed because of disbelief. There's a lot of demonic stuff in there, of course, because a lot of demonic stuff happened. But the Dead Sea Scrolls talked about, just basically humanity going to completely, I think it was, I got them both mixed up now, but humanity going to complete darkness. Yeah, it was a, as humans became more reptilian-like, well, like our brains, our mental state became more, so it became like a hell pit, basically, from what I got, as we transformed to more of what we are today, more controlled zombies, basically. So in the early days, basically the Atlantean, the perfect human, was all being wiped out, and everything that they created was being wiped out, turned into what we are today, which is very bizarre. But we're like a genetics, like, it was just we turned us into basic so we could be more under control. So it's a little bit harder for us to reactivate. Well, as you can tell right now, it's still very difficult to reactivate ourselves. So even during the time of Merlin, I believe people weren't all that disconnected from spirit as they are now. It's just because over time we've become less and less be able to connect here and there. I mean, not everyone's like that, but for the majority, that's another reason why humans are so shut down as the cities are built, and now we have Katy Perry and everybody. We're not connected to nature anymore. And if we're connecting more with nature, I believe it'll be easier for us to awaken. But those days are history, so we have technology to use that. So we're waking up through technology, which isn't exactly the easiest, but seems like the route we're going through. I guess there was already city, France and London. It was if it was the Middle Ages, we would probably be ascending right now. Maybe we're probably doing a better job of it than we are now, but it's just the way it is. Then again, even probably when you have less cities, when you have some, but it's kind of it's so the more nature, the better, basically. So when you have more of the city structures around us, that's another thing that's disconnecting us, which makes people hard to believe in all this alien stuff, and they're just just a bunch of crazy people, basically. Of course, back then that was all true, but they saw this stuff a lot more frequent than they do now. So we're seeing it, but I don't think it's as frequent as it was before. At least not in the United States. I don't think it's as frequent as it used to be. I believe it was a lot more. It was just different times, basically. It was more in the belief system, too. Now it's not really in the belief system anymore. Now it's more like, I see a ship and sighting stuff, and it's not the spiritual side. The spiritual side kind of faded out. Of course, we're reconnecting to it, as you can see. Let's see. Okay, alright, no more flying Jesus, give that a break. But there's probably flying Moses somewhere. It just gets better and better. It's good. It's good stuff, but it's freaking nuts. It's good stuff. I give it that. I felt Jesus. I felt him manipulating reptilians. I saw him fly. He was wearing like a black robe or something like that. It wasn't always flying, but like hovering over the city or something like that. It wasn't like flying all over town or something like Neo in the Matrix, but he was flying over the city, let's put it that way. Not on a ship. So basically, like the end of Atlantis, also they did push a lot of the aliens away for good reason. Because the humans basically took over. It was basically, from what I gather, it's supposed to be humans, aliens, we're all just supposed to get along, and that's how it was supposed to be. that was it. And then became a bunch of badasses during the Atlantis, and then we destroyed it, and then so we just kind of pushed away all the alien beings or hunted them down or whatever, because we became the thinking changed basically. If you're not human, you don't belong here. Let's put it that way. So something like that. So, and Egypt became more of a. It was like a spiritual energy already, but it does seem like it was more about it. I forgot what else came through, but it was inevitable. I forgot how it worked exactly. It was supposed to. It attracted a lot of positive beings there, but was also getting ready for our descension. So it's like a last. Part of it was like there was more to it, but I guess I took that memory out. But it was part of our rebuilding of Atlantis to a certain degree. But they knew it was going to go into darkness eventually, from what it feels like. It wasn't intentionally to go into that direction, but obviously it did. Through humans are just being taken over, manipulated. So I don't have the whole deal on that. I don't think anybody was flying. Who knows? I mean, it was more teleporting than flying, but you never know. Probably a little bit more of that, but. Egypt felt like it was like a sanctuary of. It was a spiritual place already, so there's probably a lot more to it than that. But it was like when the dark Atlanteans went there first, they saw something there that others did not see, from what it feels like. And so when they got pushed out or cleared out, it was like now it was the time of rebuilding. Basically, something around those lines. Something like that. So, and I also felt, I don't know the whole details, but Yeshua's energy is in other sacred sites also, somewhere around the world. So, like Egypt, you see as a spiritual place, Incas and whatever it is. There was light and dark there, and they were going to battle at one time. And it became like a spiritual sanctuary. And same with the mines too. There was something going on there. The reason why they picked those sites. Definitely Egypt is definitely one of them. As for the other, I don't know what the other ones are. They're not giving me a whole lot of details on that. But a lot of the pyramids underwater, from what I'm gathering, were all Atlantean connected in some way and then destroyed. Because they're Atlantean connected, that's why. So, something around those lines. Of course, there's a lot of other pyramids across the planet, of course. And, yeah, not all of them were... Well, not all of them were Atlanteans. A lot of them were the defectors of Atlantis, trying new things, and there's so much more stuff out there. I can't connect everything, but that was fascinating as we unravel the Earth. As for our modern world... I'm not giving anything. Once again, the animals. I didn't get a whole lot on the animals today, like what's going on with nature, but it does seem Mother Nature is. I don't know if some animals are disappearing or acting strangely. Yeah, a lot of the vibrations. It's going to come and go. It's going to be spurts of change and calmness, but a lot of timelines are shifting to more of a positive vibration. It just takes time to get to it, of course. But another thing to learn about the ancient past as we heal, as we go into the future. A lot of, I'm getting right now, obviously a lot of the Asian countries are very reptilian visited, manipulated. A lot of the Asians were just created through basically all the hybrid programs. There were always human creation processes they were using. Zetas are involved, of course. Arcturians are involved. They're of course involved with all species, but Arcturian Zeta seem to be strong with the Asian population and reptilian, for sure. They're not giving me a whole lot of details on that, but in due time. But yeah, we're all basically ancient Atlanteans when it comes down to it, just remodified. Way remodified. So, alright. Anything else for today? As for a message, okay, well, the ancient Atlanteans have just showed up. That would be a pot. Okay. Alright, well, this might be a short one, because I was going to go into more of the Book of Enoch, but then the whole Flying Jesus came and that changed everything, so I'm all messed up. Yeah, that's a little bit weird. That takes a while to soak in. That's a little bit. That's sure. Sure, I'm okay with a flying. As long as we don't have a flying Donald Trump, I think we're in good shape. Or flying Hillary Clinton. We don't need that. Oh, we do not. Can you imagine if we had a flying? I don't want to think about that. She can't even walk, let alone fly. She can't even, she's bumping into everything and just a mess. So. Alright, the Atlanteans are here, and alright, we'll bring them in. I've been doing a lot of bird channelings with the carrions. That's really awesome. With the Atlantean connections, I haven't connected them in a while. So, I believe, yes, they're still in Agartha, quite a bit of them. They feel responsible for the Earth and what direction it went into. So, our blessings, and here we go. Greetings to you, we are the Atlanteans. Blessings to your society. Yes, many of you humans are having difficulties ascending into the higher vibrations. As I ought to do, yes, with the reptilian overlord energy around the consciousness. As basically many humans are being haunted in their astral and have no idea. Now you're in your astral always fully aware, but basically around the astral areas, basically they use the fear energies around your astral. Yes, in astral you can be very unafraid, but those can be affected. Your astral self can become sick also and mind controlled also. And that is where much is going on your planet. Yes, many do free themselves, but as they come back into their lives, they get back into the hypnosis energy of amnesia. It's basically, there are, yes, grids around your New York City and other major cities across your world. As for, yes, what is going on is a distraction energy, you can say, in your astral plane, but also around your third dimensional plane. As it is a mix together, is basically some are here as human are the same in astral. So if you are disconnected from your spiritual self here, when you go into astral, you are the same. Basically, you go into the dream world, but you take this earth with you. Many of you do not do this. Many of you go into astral and leave this world here. Yes, you do connect to it, but not many of them are taking it everywhere they go. And so it makes it more difficult for them to awaken, if that makes sense. I imagine it does. Why so many here are difficult to awaken is because, yes, they're under a black magic energy, you can say. Yes. It is more than that, though. It is the soul of the individual that is not ready to ascend. Many of them are just busy with the third dimension. They shut off the fourth dimensional thinking. So when they hear it, they say, no, not at all, I'm not connecting to that. Or that is of the devil, or is of this, or that, or whatever it might be. And those that are in the religious astral fields, and they do exist, Some of you are connected to. Yes, those are in the religious sector already, but you can go in astral and connected to religion also, which even can be even worse than on this world. And they're most difficult to awaken. Is just think of yourself in a whirlwind, and you can't get out of it. You're just in a tornado, basically. You're stuck inside of it. That is what's going on. So when they come back into this world, your world does not exist. Now for some, they are aware, but then it gets shut down. Now for every individual, it is different too. But for the most part, many are in their little cocoons that are in the third dimension vibration at this time. This is why it's so difficult for humans to awaken. But there are different ways of, yes, everyone has their own point of view, of course. This is our point of view. As some might see it more in detail, but at this time, this is the only detail at this time we feel we bring to you. And yes, many are connected to, yes, the Archon connections that are going into the mental state of human. Basically, as some that come out of astral, they are implanted once again into the third dimensional mindset. It's like the third dimensional helmet of thinking is coming from the Archon vibrations. Another thing to look at. So how to heal these energies? It's for the individual to release themselves. But it's for those of you to just be the vibration you wish to be. Share your knowledge as you wish. Be yourself. That's all you can do, basically. The universe is working with all of you. You all connect in astral. Realize many of you go into astral, connect to those that are shut down, and assist them in waking up to your version of the universe. It may do close that down instantly. Now some do go into spirit, yes. They go on what they're allowing to see. But as for this alien, many have shut that down. Some do connect to the aliens, but then they shut it down as they come back. So I'm ready to go back to sleep. So it is different for everyone. Just we want to make that clear. Not everyone's part of the same MO as for astral travel. Many do go, yes, they are in third dimension. They don't want to know nothing to do with aliens, but they do go to alien worlds, but they're very humanoid. And there's not an alien inside. There might be aliens there, but it's not enough for them to bring it back into a memory to unlock it that there are aliens here also. So they do connect to different types of vibrations, but it's always going to be different for everyone. After the Atlanteans on your Earth at this time, we are assisting, basically moving the conscious to a higher vibration. We are, yes, working with many of the Native Americans to help you in the spirit realms. Yes, to undo black magic on your planet. As for your politicians, yes, there is a great amount of black magic around their energy fields, mostly in the mental state. As basically, yes, power and becoming remembered in history. And many of your politicians are there for that. They want to be worshipped by others in their own way. And being remembered in history is a big deal. So those that are in your Congress are very, yes, the ego is very much to be remembered in history. So they're going to they're not going to change that much. But then again, there are some that are willing to change, but there's only a few of them. Trust me, we have seen it all. And many of them are ancient Atlanteans, but most of them are at a lower vibration. They're not the magicians. The magicians would never make it into Congress ever. Never. Aleister Crowley was an Atlantean. He'll give you more knowledge of that. But also, he was not a very good one, but he was one. He was no different. He was actually a lot worse, actually. And so he tried, in this world, he's trying to reconnect, and he was actually he made much progress in this world, as you can see. But as you can see, he did connect too much of his darkness, as you're experiencing here. And yes, he continued. That also gives you an insight into the black magic happened in the Atlantean world, which also went into your. One moment. into your Ireland and your secret societies in your ancient times. The Druids. The Druids are ancient Atlanteans, I believe that was been mentioned here in the past. As that energy still lives, but it is more of the Cabal at this time. It is more hidden itself at this time. And yes, they use much black magic on their planet, yes. But this does not stop pure light. As many of you, yes, wish to turn your Earth around very soon. And that does not mean you're not bringing a more high vibration to your Earth. It is happening. It's just not always seen. As you change, people change around you. Now, some of you might have a energy shift when you feel like you're just, why did I choose this world? Because you're being most likely pressured in astral plane as the heaviness is increasing. As you want more change, the pressure it is on. So that's another thing to, as it is difficult to think clearly, as you want a freer Earth, as many of you do. Many of you are connected to unlocking this planet. But it does take time. And in astral is much to be done, but in astral also some are going through sabotage too because of it. So there's a lot of heavy energies on your planet at this time. And will continue to do so. But heavy energies also brings, yes, a change in timelines. As for more turning your Earth back into the wizard dimension, as which many of you would like to experience. And it already is there, but not in the way that you are feeling enlightened. You are bringing more, yes, enlightenment energies into your vibrations. More Atlantean existence here. We are not just saying these things. It's just, there is many boulders to push out. As the Cabal, as some of you are feeling, I'll put the pressure on many of you. As you bring more enlightenment, they are surrounding many of you at this time, causing more difficulties. Just so you understand. Our message to you is to connect with nature, trust your instincts, allow yourself to turn into these alien beings, feline, Palladian, Syrian, what it is that and brings enlightenment to you. That will change your Earth. As your energies of that will be felt around. It will, yes, take time for the lower energies to heal. There is still much to do. As there is, yes, many codes that have been done on your world to keep it locked down for a certain amount of time, as some of you are experiencing. As you are trying to unlock your planet, you feel that there is a boulder there, correct? And it's because there is a lot of, as the Atlanteans were taken off this Earth, there was a time capsule left here. It has not been opened yet. When that opens, your timeline's open to the new reality, basically. Blessings to your society as we are the Atlanteans.